some time at the next web conference in Amsterdam. We arrived right after our trip to Dublin, and it was actually pretty interesting. 10,000 people, it was like a huge area of booths of all sorts of companies. But the funniest thing was, guess who was the only metaverse company at the conference? You guessed right, Next Earth. We were literally the only metaverse company at the conference, which means that people were coming to us and they were asking like, hey, what do you guys do? And we told them, well, we're a metaverse company. We created the first Earth-based metaverse on the blockchain. They're like, okay, there are a lot of words that I did not understand about that, so can we please talk about that a bit further? That's how most of our conversation started. But fortunately, we were right next to the media lounge, so we got to talk to a couple of journalists as well. So on the first day, all we did was networking and just exploring the area. And as I said, mostly that's when we had all the conversations. And on Friday, we went out and started basically trying to invite people to the keynote that I had at 3:15. By that time, we also had 4 community members joining us. Guys, it was so good to have you, and it was such an amazing experience just meeting everybody, like meeting all the community members in person and realizing them that you're real people. And I know that you told me the exact same thing, but I can tell you it was just as exciting and unreal for us as it was for you. And one of my favorite scenes of the entire event was when all of us, like most of us, went to lunch, and a couple of us were having just conversations and networking with a couple people, and then the booth was empty. But then I went back and I would see Demetrius, one of our community members, sitting by himself, people surrounding him, and he was talking about Next Earth. And then I'm like, this is exactly what Next Earth is about. That it's not about us, it's about us as a community. So when community members are sitting at the booth and talking to, I don't know, brand managers from Nike, for example, because their booth was right in front of us, that was one of the most amazing experiences. Anyway, so we ended up inviting a bunch of people to the keynote, which was at the Ignite stage. It was not the main stage, but it was the second largest stage where this sort of new tech conversations were had. And to my surprise, even though the official after party started at 3 p.m. and my keynote started at 3:15, we had a full house of people just attending and wanting to listen to the keynote, which made me a bit nervous, but you know me, if I start looking in front of a camera, I can just, get in the mood. So it was a great keynote. I talked about the age of Web3 startups. Literally, the title was the age of Web3. And the keynote was mainly touching on how launching a Web3 business is different from Web2. And after 1.5 days of conversations with people at the conference, we realized that we had to start from really far away, because they didn't even know what crypto was. They didn't even know what was the point of crypto. So instead of just having a general pitch about the metaverse, I started to explain to them how throughout decades and centuries of technological advancement, crypto and the metaverse is not an innovation, it's inevitable. We had some great questions, really deep questions. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about those, because it felt like people were like listening and they were taking all the information in, and we had an amazing time there. But after that, literally what happened is that I would come off the stage and people like started walking back to the booth, and people were literally following us to the booth, and we were having conversations. So I told them everything about Next Earth as well. I told them how they can become Next Earthians, explained to them, showed them the platform, what you can do to buy land, and why it's gonna be awesome if you become a Next Earthian. And I also told them about NXTT, and most importantly, I told them about how awesome of a community we have, which is not because of us, it's because of you. It was just amazing to meet you guys, and let's hope to see you at the next conference. Take care.